Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the lands of Alaire. Thank you so much for joining us. Our party is just about ready to strike out of Old Town in the middle of the night, intent on defeating their old enemy, Inquisitor Varys, and the Farnwellian Inquisitors who line the roads, awaiting to ambush them and take away Clara the Azamar. So, as you guys set out of the tavern, readying yourselves, making your way into the countryside, Bilberry comes running up beside you, and he goes, God, this place is boring. This is the worst.
What? This is wonderful. This is home.
This is home to you, sir.
Yes.
I traded my family's soul for a better home than this. Okay, I mean, that's a rough way of putting it, but it is the truth. Speaking of which, we're not too far. It should be just on the east side of Ellenbeer. Maybe if we make our way close to that, at some point in our journeys, we can find that wizard and figure out why my family's like this.
Yes.
We'll
very
fit
much
it in.
like this.
I know you're busy.
After you defecated on my home like that, I'll have to think about it.
Well, can you truly defecate on his without seeing it first?
I'm looking forward to this. No.
You want a little excitement. Should we invite maybe Zorn, Bilberry
Oh.
to
Certainly.
give us a hand?
Yeah.
I know this
Well-
dragon.
They're good at stabbing and blowing things up.
Unless they want to. Well, are they coming?
No?
Zorn,
Or not?
hearing his name, emerges from the common room. He's been saying to himself, and in fact, you notice those Dragonborn, that group of them, the Bronze Company there. Upon their arrival, Zorn became much more secluded. Went to a corner on his own, kept his eyes on them. Didn't make any moves or anything, but obviously was deep in remembering his past in Kel'Ira, as he served as a slave under Dragonborn for some time. And he comes emerging from the tavern, hearing Bilberry call out, and you guys begin discussing this, and he goes, Actually, it was our intent to watch over Clara with Arena and Gentel when she returns in the least. The Inquisitors are crafty. Wouldn't be surprised if there was an ambush awaiting us already in town. He glances around.
That's better.
I think that's smart.
Yes.
Actually, I think Leander's gonna talk to. Can he talk to the Dragonborn? Are we like have we
No,
left
no,
it?
you guys are like right outside the
Right,
tavern,
okay.
yeah.
I'll go with him too.
Okay.
I toss him 350 gold,
They take it?
and I say, just make sure that if anything happens here, you can put a stop to it.
Bronze Company has your back. They all stand up and give a quick salute, and one of them goes, Orlan wouldn't stand for any nonsense here, and neither would we. Hands on their hips. They all begin to scout about the common room, making Duran rather uncomfortable.
Were they armored and stuff?
Yeah, they're wearing what appears to be very much so like alligator hide.
Oh, right.
Okay. What do they have for like weapons? Like
Curved swords.
cool.
And
No, they just gave gold
lightning
to
breath. That was awesome.
All right, we'll be back, guys.
Yes, sir. And as you guys march on out, yeah, your friends, seems as though Bilberry, Zorn, Gentel, as she makes her way back in town past you, informing you, it's the windmill just beyond that river. You have to climb up about a 15-foot ridge, and then, yes, it appears as though it's been abandoned for some time, probably where they've taken space. And she goes to group up with Arena, Zorn, Bilberry to watch over Clara through the evening, as the Inquisition is crafty. And yes, not far out of town, beyond the river and a slight ridge, a seemingly abandoned farm and its surrounding shacks and storage is what you guys approach.
Before we leave, I want to give Jantel and say, just in case you need it, I'm going to give her one of my fire oils.
Okay.
Just to hold on to.
I haven't made much use of these yet, she goes as she takes it. Just douse the quiver. Nice and simple. So yes, you guys travel across the countryside and find yourselves approaching a grouping of small buildings and a windmill in the middle of the night. pretty dark, and you hear the chirping of crickets and the occasional hooting of owls.
Only one who can see.
Yes, that's true.
But, I'm sorry. Continue.
I've got a sword.
Yeah,
I can.
that's true. Leander
Glows.
lights the way to some degree, at least. And presumably, you guys make your way towards the middle of this space. It seems as though there's no movement at the moment. And as you guys get to about here, you can see Inquisitor Eris sitting down in the middle of these buildings at the moment, seemingly very quiet, in a meditative position. And then she opens her eyes. Very crystal clear blue eyes that peer in your direction. She's wearing a green dress, and she is a very gorgeous woman. She goes, oh, very interesting to meet you here already. And now we don't have to go out and find you. Why don't you join us to Lancaster? I can promise you a reward from the king myself.
What sort of reward are we talking about? Just to make an informed decision?
I have some promises here. And she lifts up a piece of paper or parchment. You can't quite make out the text on it yet, especially not in the middle of the night. But she goes, promises in writing, powerful promises.
Promissory note with the paper they're written on.
Now you and your companion Clara can join us to Lancaster. Together it would make for a smooth journey, and when we arrive we'll live like kings.
The only thing that'll move slowly is your head off your shoulders. As I call out to Walter and charge in, take her down.
That's initiative.
I don't forget what she did with Sarengar.
Fair enough.
Wow. So it begins.
This die has been treating me so good.
Until initiative.
Yeah.
So, Gilroy.
8.
Better than your last initiative.
That's true.
Jar.
11.
11. Leander.
A 17.
Okay. Melee.
The best Leander.
24.
24. Erlon.
11.
11. So, Melee, you will be first. However, Erlon, I'm going to say you have the surprise on this one. You get to make one round before combat actually begins. So you charge forth with your rage, calling forth Walter. And Walter quickly and kind of under his breath goes, "This is the most unworthy villain we've fought in some time."
I'll never forget what she did. And I go for great weapon fighting, reckless attack. I'm gonna try to
Everything you got.
yeah, everything I got. I want to take her down
All right.
in one swipe. I want to. You know, I said I was gonna remove her head from her shoulders. I want to.
Do just
I want to
that.
follow through.
All right.
So that is 18 to hit.
18 will hit her. He's just a sorceress.
And that is going to be 20 damage.
20 damage. Yeah. You bring Bloodletter down hard. And cut deep, tearing some of the silk of her dress and cutting across her chest. And she retracts from that and gives a quick... But you can make your second attack since you took the attack.
That's only a 12.
The next one she's going to manage to dodge to the side, breaking away with her staff. And that will bring it to Melee's turn at the top of the round. Melee, actually, before you begin, you can throw me a perception.
That's where I was going.
Oh!
That's still 12.
12?
No, 13.
Okay, so you don't quite notice anything, but the way that all of these shacks have curtains drawn over the windows and whatnot, any sort of blind they seem to be able to manage, there's people in there. There's got to be more reinforcements in there, so you at least know that.
I was going to, there's just so many blind spots in all
Yes,
the
there
buildings.
is. There's a lot going
What is
on.
the tallest structure?
This shack here appears to be like 1.5 stories by comparison to the other ones, which are only about 9 or 10 feet tall.
Okay, I want to climb on top of that.
Okay. It's not an issue for...
Mhm.
Ooh, interesting. So the way this is gonna work will reveal a little bit of stuff. So you
Okay.
climb up on top of that shack.
And it didn't really show anything else that my regular perception from before.
Probably not quite yet,
Okay.
no. Though you do have a good angle on the sorceress.
I do think I think I want to ready an action though, because so Erlon's got her just fine. I'm sure Leander will be there. So when reinforcements start, I want to have an arrow ready.
Okay,
for-
so if anyone comes running out of this
Yeah.
room, you're gonna knock one right into them.
Yeah.
Alright, which brings us to Inquisitor Eris. TJ, fly takes a round to cast, right?
It's the full action, yeah.
So she,
You can move.
Alright, so the wind begins to gust around her. She is going to attempt to fly. You don't stop her immediately, right? Like, I can break away from you, can't I?
Yeah, with the sentinel feat, if you try to disengage from me, I get to still get an attack
So
of
you
opportunity
will get your
against
attack
you.
of opportunity, but she does begin to rocket up into the air.
So I say, you're not going to fly away this time. And she probably is. 13.
Yeah, another whoosh!
Yeah.
And with great speed, she lifts off about 30 feet into the air, and she goes, "No, that's not the intent this time." And that's going to be her turn. Give her a little swirly flying thing.
air battle.
That is going to bring us to Leander.
Leander. So she just flew up into the air.
She just rocketed up into the air.
That's a problem. Well, I'm gonna still move up next to Erlon,
Okay.
I suppose, or as close as I can get.
You bring the horse.
Not this time.
5.
I don't have to be right next to him. Just okay. And I am going to cast protection from poison
Okay.
on myself,
Alright.
and that is my turn.
You run forth, channel some divine energy, and strengthen yourself against poison. That brings us to Erlon, your actual turn. She's about 30 feet up there.
Yeah, so I just curse in my native tongue. And I just take out the returning hand axe
Yeah.
and try to throw it so it buries itself right in her chest. And I'm not rolling great. It's only a 14.
Not that time.
Got another.
Yeah, it returns and you can throw it again, so.
Try the other die.
Switch it up.
There we go. 25.
That's gonna hit.
It's actually D6 this time. Plus 5 because I didn't change that. So 9 damage.
9.
Not bad.
Definitely connects, and you see her get whipped around in the air, attempting to maintain her balance as the axe strikes her, which is going to bring us to Jar. Unless you'd like to move or anything, Erlon, you can as well.
She's just directly above.
She's right in the middle of this space, floating about 30 feet up, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just holding my ground.
Okay.
I am the mountain.
Alright, yeah, Jar.
Alright, so she's 30 feet up and she's about 30 feet ahead of me.
Seems so, yeah.
So I could probably still hit her with my crossbow.
Mhm.
So, Jar will, he'll take a shot
Okay.
with the crossbow. And no, it's 1.
Confirm how bad of a one.
18.
Nah, yeah, it's just a bad miss.
And then with his free action, he'll melee, shoot for the eyes. And so you get an extra D8 for inspiration.
Nice! You are bardically inspired.
Nice.
That's added to the die roll, right?
Yeah,
Not
that's
the damage, but the.
Yeah, die roll. So
Yeah,
for
okay.
attack or
Saving
checks,
throw.
yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That's cool.
Gilroy.
I forgot about that.
Gilroy has a lot of ire for this woman.
Mm-hmm.
She shut him down pretty seriously last time they met. But he's come a long way since then. And as much as he wants to fly up there and meet her, I think he'll just level his staff. I'll walk into the middle of the...
Sure.
Just like a side, yeah, that works. And level my staff, sort of pointing it straight at her, and casting magic missile as a 5th level spell.
Wow!
So it's 7 magic missiles.
Wow.
So they just begin to swirl and form and grow in strength around the end of his staff until they're loosed in a volley. All right, 21 damage, yeah.
Yeah, like a volley of arcane blasts across the sky. All of those arcane missiles connect in quick succession and cause her, with great force, to go rocketing back in the air, obviously bruised and battered by the onslaught. And they all hit and connect quite powerfully. Which brings us to your hidden assailants.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right. So this one comes running on out, only to be met with Melee's bow. So you can make that attack if you'd like to.
This was with sharpshooter.
Yeah.
But I had a
Yeah.
six. Oh,
No, you're able to do that, yeah.
so 19.
19 will hit.
So 21.
21. So a significant amount of damage. And you get to make your bonus attack.
21.
Yep.
For 24.
24. You kill him.
Oh, okay.
So the first one who comes running out gets 2 arrows to the back, thump, thump, falls to the ground with a ah! However, one comes running right over his body behind Leander. One comes to meet up with him from out of there with a hand crossbow at the ready. One seems to be running up from around the bend behind that building. One emerges from here over towards Gilroy. One emerges from here over towards Erlon. That's gonna be it for now.
Well, I got one.
So I'm going to make a hand crossbow attack against Jar. It's going to be a 15.
It'll just, I think we just miss.
Just miss?
Yep.
Alright, so yeah, you notice out of the corner of your eye some dash of movement from beyond that shack, and a small crossbow, a sliver of bolt goes flying right across your head as you dash back, which is going to bring us to a attack on Gilroy. Gilroy, you are not being flanked, and it does not have any friends, so he's not sneak attacking you, but he does run up, slashing at you with his dagger, and he's going to make 2 attacks. No! First of the season. It's going to be a 14.
Yep.
It's going to be a 9. So, I need you to make a Constitution save and throw.
I'm at advantage.
Philosopher's Stone.
Am I still at +3? No. Alright. 15.
15?
Yep.
That is the DC. So, you will be taking 5 piercing and 6 poison. So 11 damage in total. A cut that otherwise would have been fatal to a young Gilroy, you managed to shrug off without too much difficulty. Which is going to bring us to the one attacking Erlon. Erlon, technically, the sorceress is not adjacent to you, so this is no sneak attack. It's going to be a hit and a miss, so I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. Leander, 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
2 misses, but 1 shoots at you with a crossbow. Sneak attack. That's going to be 1 hit. What did you throw for con?
19.
Okay, so you power on through. You are going to be taking a total, round up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so 3 piercing and 6, so 9 damage. And then, Leander, your con save?
Not the 24.
24, yeah, so you power on
And I'm
through.
resistant to poison.
Jeez, okay,
1
so you're
hour.
going to be taking 9 piercing damage and 3 poison. You all take different amounts from these attacks. So it's 12 in total.
Yep.
As they, you manage to deflect the slashes of the dagger right before your eyes, but a crossbow bolt sinks into your thigh, piercing through your plate armor. And that is going to bring us away from the rogues and back to melee.
The one with the crossbow I want to focus on.
Okay.
With sharpshooter.
You'll
Do
probably.
you want to use that?
I was a little bit.
That's what I want to make sure.
Yeah.
You're probably going to want to move forward, essentially, further down the way, so that
I
you have
get
an
a
angle
better-
on them. Yeah, I was a little bit lackadaisical about that with the sneak attack, but I think it worked out. So, all right, so you make your way down along the rooftop so that you have the angle on them and shoot at the crossbow guy, which is this one.
So I got a nat 20.
Nice.
So it's
16 plus 16.
32.
Yep.
yes.
Wow. Yeah, that sinks deep into his chest. He seems to be quite close to death.
I will shoot him again.
All right.
15.
15, let me check real quick. 15 will not hit. He manages to dodge out of the way of that one, at least knowing the location that they're coming from. Anything more?
Were you worried about
I was. Don't worry about it.
it? Okay.
Alright, the Inquisitor's turn then. She is going to move back with her flight. And she's going to cast a cone of cold down towards Leander, Erlon, and Melee. So I need you guys to make Constitution saving throws.
Do I have advantage on that for being next to Leander?
You have +3.
Plus 3 for con.
And what's
Okay.
the range on that?
My
Your
bonus,
yeah,
10 feet.
Sorry.
10 feet?
Probably better than advantage.
Yeah.
So Melee, you also get that.
It is, yeah.
So, what'd you guys throw?
Your Constitution
20.
saving throw. Plus 3 because you're next to Leander.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, convenient that I moved you up along the way just so that you could get this bonus. So, what you threw 21?
20.
20?
27.
Holy moly!
26.
Oh my god! So yeah, you guys mostly brace yourselves against this and manage to power your way through it. You're going to be taking only 14 cold damage from an otherwise very powerful spell.
You thought our proficiency bonus went up by 3.
Right? Holy crap. One of the best saves I've ever seen. However, it is a piercing and rough cold as the air bursts down on top of you guys in this great cone of freezing. So that is going to be the Inquisitor's turn, which brings us to Leander. Leander, they charged out of these buildings, began driving daggers towards you and shooting hand crossbows at you. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna do some more buffing up, is what I'm gonna do. So Leander, as he's blocking this Inquisitor's kind of slashes with his shield, he kind of raises his sword up like he's done in the past, and he is going to use Sacred Weapon, which is an action,
Okay.
and Crusader's Mantle. So something that's never happened before, level 3 spell. I guess kind of his armor glows somewhat white, and any allies within 30 feet gain plus 1d4 radiant damage for the next minute.
Alright.
Is concentration though, so I have to roll for that. But
Keep that in mind.
yep,
Plus
Okay.
1d4.
plus 1d4.
Radiant. So Leander calls out a chant to Torm, and everyone's weapons would be no, even Jar. Everyone's weapons begin to glow with a white radiance, and you feel a surge of divine power within you. You know that your strikes will ring true. Which brings us to Erlon, just in time.
Yeah. So with Eris flying away, I just immediately turn my rage on the closest Inquisitor,
Yep.
and holding the returning hand axe in one hand and bloodletter in the other, I just swing it down
Okay.
right at his clavicle.
Let's see it.
Reckless attack. Great weapon
Erlon the
mastery.
Clavicle Destroyer.
And that's going to be 20.
20 hits, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus some
D4.
radiant damage, yeah.
Alright, so that is. Sorry, it might take me just a second.
It's a lot of bonuses
Yeah.
these days.
So 14 plus 3 is 17 damage.
17. Chop! Oop. 20. Boom.
Then I spin around, kick up some dust, and this time aim right at the midsection.
Alright.
And base 19.
That's gonna hit.
Dang.
And that is plus 9. Oh, yeah, it's plus 9. So that's 18 plus 1. It's 19 damage.
19. He seems badly injured by those two powerful chops that bring down Bloodletter deep past his dark leather armor and send him reeling, which brings us to Jar. Jar, notably, one runs up from the side of that shack, making his way through what seems to be some shrubbery and whatnot, and one charges out at Gilroy, managing to cut into his new robes.
Yeah, Jar will try to circle around and flank the one that's engaged with Gilroy.
Alright. Not an issue.
And he will pick it up. He'll switch to his short sword and dagger, so tink, 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 and...
Let's see it.
Alright. It's a 23.
That is a hit.
So,
Sneak attack plus D4 radiant.
so 12, 15, 16. That'd be 22.
22.
Nice.
And then with the offhand, it'll be a 12. So
That will be manages to react to that one as you stab forward. However, Gilroy, this one that was previously slashing at you, in the blink of an eye, a shadow moves behind him, and he gives out a ah! As it seems he has been stabbed in the back. Which is going to bring us from Jar to Gilroy.
Well, I think he will thank Jar. Thank you, Jar. And then he will slow. Well, this creeping blue smoke fog comes along the ground and begins to wrap itself around the feet of the Inquisitors and work its way up, sort of encompassing them.
All right.
So I can do up to 6 in a 40-foot cube.
2, 6, and a 40-foot cube. You know some are probably in this building here, so if you focus it down there, you'll probably get 6.
Okay, I will do that.
What kind of save?
Wisdom.
Like it matters. Jeez.
17 now.
One of them saved.
So they're at -2 AC and -2 to Dex. No reactions, either an action or a bonus action. No more than 1 attack.
My poor level 3 rogues. Ruined.
And disengaging is an action, isn't it? Yes.
Unless
So,
they're rogues.
yeah.
They don't get reactions now, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, so.
So yeah, that blue mist seeps across the ground, trailing up 5 of these, including making its way in through the windows and portals of this smaller, seems like it might be a farm watcher's house or shack or something along those lines, and it seeps on through and you hear some men cry out from within there, "What magics is this?" And that will bring us to
Ask your leader!
them with a slow attack. One tries to bring its dagger down on you, or Erlod. Miss. Leander. Miss. Crossbow. 22.
No.
Bang! You managed to deflect it. One comes running up towards you, Erlon, but that's all he's got. Another one makes his way on out, aiming his crossbow, but that's all he's got, and he's moving in slow motion. Another one comes running out of that house, jumping out of one of the portals, and also aiming his crossbow at you, Leander. It's going to bring us to the one up by Gilroy. He's gonna hit you. Constitution saving throw.
Like 19.
I'll do it. You will be taking 11 damage.
Again?
Yep.
No,
You
this is hurt.
cut the poison in half. Then shot at Jar. That is the Inquisitor's turn, which brings us back to the top of the round with Melee. Melee, there is a whole grouping of them down there.
There is, but I don't like that the Inquisitor is flying away.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I'm going to focus on her with Bitter Tool.
You roll the d20 and add it to the in the d8 at the same time. You add the d8 to your
Okay.
Yeah.
So
d20 roll.
with Sharpshooter. 14, 15, 16.
16 will hit.
Nice.
With inspiration, it works, yes.
+7.
You
It's like
remember-
doubling your attack bonus.
So you
Alright.
scout over these Inquisitors. You see they're moving rather slowly, affected by Gilroy's magic. Erlon and Leander, back to back, are striking these guys down. And as you aim your bow, you hear ringing through your mind Jar's voice as you arc up towards the Inquisitor Varys. Aim for the eyes, and boom, you let it go.
Okay. So it's 22.
There's an arrow sticking out of her side, and she's badly injured by it.
Not quite her eye.
No, not quite. It was a good shot, though. Her silhouette against the Starry Night is not the easiest thing to pick out, so you've done rather well with that.
Maybe the next one.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Yeah, an extra attack?
Yeah.
Still at the Inquisitor? Or Inquisitor
Yes.
Varys, they're all Inquisitors.
Yeah. Yes, Bill.
Okay.
With Sharpshooter.
Nice.
22.
Yeah.
Thank you. So 5, that's 21, 22, 23, 24 damage.
Alright,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay.
You you hurt her pretty badly as she begins flying away. It seems as though she noted your position. She knows you are a proficient archer, and if there's anything that doesn't generally work very well, it's flying against that type of enemy.
I want to move if it's still
No, you
my
can, yeah.
turn. I can. Just back a little bit so that all the guys with the crossbow can't reach me quite as easily.
Alright. So you take a few steps back.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are aiming right at the
Mostly
moment at
at
Leander,
them.
but if they caught you, you could imagine they'd go right up, and I have to roll some concentration saving throws. No, I managed. So, although you hit her quite hard, the sorceress manages to stay aloft in the air and maintain her concentration.
Is she just like hovering, or is she leaving?
She's legitimately flying, but it seems as though she's attempting to, not use too much of her resources on that while also casting.
Right, but she's not like leaving the battlefield.
Doesn't seem so, no. So that'll take us from Melee to the Inquisitor, who, with a burst of red where those blue eyes used to be those clear blue eyes, she cast down with her hands a familiar-looking few bolts of scorching energy. So that's going to be 2 at Gilroy. Yeah, 2 hits.
Really doesn't like it.
No, she hates it. It's going to be 2 at Melee. What's your AC now?
16.
So 1 hits, and that's going to be 2 at Leander. 1 hit. So that's going to be let me see. 7 damage array. So 14, 7, 7. Nice. And that is going to take us from the Inquisitor to Leander.
All right, with his glowing sword and glowing aura, he's going to turn to the slowed one that is next to Erlon that he can hit.
Yep.
And he is going to take a swing out.
Sounds good.
A 14. It's gonna 23.
Yep.
No, 25. And he's gonna make it a level 3 divine smite.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, that is a lot. 12, 20, 28, 35, 35 plus 7. Oh. So, 42, 43 damage.
You killed him.
Yeah, his sword, both from the Sunblade being kind of increased from the dwarves, it's just like, a roaring flame as it cuts through this Inquisitor.
Right above, yeah, he drops dead in a single blow.
Yeah.
Brought down by a divine strike.
And then turning back around, he takes a swing at the guy that's been stabbing at him this whole time.
Now for you!
23.
Yep.
Just a
normal divine
level
smite.
2 divine smite. 11, 13, 17, 24, 31. 31 damage.
Okay.
I have to do some more damage to keep up with it.
Now, if that one had been a crit, the first one.
Leander can't do that all day, is the thing.
Yeah.
That's a few times he manages to hit that hard. However, Erlon, even in your rage, you glance over for a moment as Leander manages to send this guy flying with a divine smite. It seems as though, he has some powerful abilities now, which will bring it to your turn, Erlon.
Yeah, I'm like, impressive, battle brother. Now watch this.
Let's see it.
Yeah, same thing, great weapon fighting. Yeah.
All the stuff.
All the things and stuff. So that is 21.
Yeah. Did your rage damage bonus go up?
It did went up by 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And I think I forgot to add the great weapon fighting damage to the other ones, but that's okay. It's so much math.
Yeah, right. We got level 10 characters.
9.
All right. That's 9 plus 19, 28.
This guy, you succeed exactly in what you looked out to do in the first place, and his head rolls to the ground.
Nice. And then I get a bonus action for doing that.
Yep.
So is there anybody within 5 feet of me, or do I have to move?
You'd have to move 5 feet to get to them. They were all wary and keeping a little bit of a distance. You still see the Inquisitor up the way. Is it just a bonus attack?
Yeah. If I get
You get a kill or a crit?
if I get a kill or a crit, I can make one melee weapon attack as a bonus. So yeah, I can't throw my return attacks.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But you can still move, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he can attack, move, bonus attack.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll move to this. No, I better cover back flank. So I'm gonna go towards the slowed one on the. Yeah, that guy.
Like right.
Yeah.
So you
Okay.
can hit both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good.
And I'm gonna chop at the already pretty damaged one.
Sounds good.
And that's soft 20.
Gonna hit. Yeah, and the D4.
So that is 12 plus 2, 14 damage.
14. Very close. Which will take us to Jar.
Alright. Jar's still flanking the one that took the shot at Gilroy.
Yes, indeed.
And the other one's kind of sneaking up on
He
us.
seems, he shot at you again because he knows that you already had a pinpoint on his position, but he seems like he's crouching ready to jump at Gilroy.
Okay. I'll just try to kill the one that's probably closer to death, right there still. So.
Sounds good.
Alright, still flanking.
Yep.
Alright. 19.
That'll hit.
Alright. I still get the +4 for Radiant?
Yep.
Alright.
Plus D4, yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be 21.
21.
Nice.
Then
Get him with the offhand.
offhand. That'll be an 18.
Yes.
19. I get the inherent bonus from the dagger.
And a D4.
5.
Got him.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
D4.
I was just making sure because it was like.
So yeah, actually it would have been 9.
Nice. Yeah.
Sweet.
Overkill.
So yeah, you finally with the offhand you managed to You take the guy down with a quick slash of the short sword. It's magic, obviously, ringing true, cutting straight through the leather armor like a razor. And as he's brought down to his knees, a quick plunge with the dagger into his back brings him to the ground. So, Gilroy, you're glad to have Jar's help. Brings us to Gilroy, unless you want to take any bonus actions or anything, Jar.
No, I'll just stay where I'm at for now.
Okay. Do you forewarn Gilroy?
Yeah, that probably would make sense, yeah. I didn't do...
Jar uses his free actions best.
Cool. Alright.
What are you delving into?
Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you, Jar. Again. I'll move forward a bit, so I'm sort of between the buildings. See ya. And I will hold my staff aloft, and this it begins. The tip of it begins bubbling and popping, and leashed from the tip of it is a sort of oversized green arrow that leaves a streak of popping bubbles in its trail. And I have to make an attack roll. This is Melf's acid arrow against Eris.
So, Eris
At 4th level.
waves her hand quickly, and you see shock in her face as her reactionary counterspell does not seem to work all of a sudden.
Yes.
At 4th level!
Alright. Oh! 14!
14?
Wait. Hold on, let me see if there's something. I don't think there is, actually.
Is she slowed?
She is not slowed. She was out of the radius of effect there.
Damn it.
So,
Now she's gonna fireball him.
She inspired you.
she
That was like hardly even a roll. Too.
There's a shock in her eyes as her counterspell fails. However, deftly she manages to whip through the air, and only the trail of your acid arrow seems to have splashed upon her.
Yeah, it's still half of 64, so.
That's true.
I did steal one. Alright, 3,
Wow, that was
7.
still
Yeah,
really good. That's an insane roll.
Yeah, it is. But it's gonna be halved. 11, 15, 22, 11.
11 damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, despite the fact that the arrow itself misses, there's a sizzling and smoke rises as it seems her legs have been splashed with that acid, and it digs into her deeply.
I gave myself a harsh facepalm there.
You really slapped yourself.
I was upset. I wanted that to work.
Most people feel about Gilroy most of the time.
Big fat face palm.
So, this one rounds up behind you, Leander. Guess what? That's all he's got, because he's slow.
Wrong move.
Right? An attack. A miss. An attack. A miss. Some attacks against Erlon. 2 misses as the one who had a crossbow out sets it away. He's nearly dead, lashing out. He seems practically blinded when you rage. He's very scared. And the one tries to stab from behind you. Get him hit once. So I need you to make a con saving throw.
26.
Okay, so you're going to
Or
take...
no, sorry. 29. So.
Holy
Yeah.
crap! So you are going to take a total of 6 and 6, so 12 damage. This one, stealthily, moves up behind you, Gilroy.
Watch your back, Gilroy. Thanks, Jar.
He's gonna hit you once. Con saving throw against poison.
You have +3. Almost, actually.
27, something like that.
What is with you guys?
We're tough.
DC 15, don't do it no more. So that's going to be
11.
well,
Or
it's
is
a
he-
sneak.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to be doing 12 and 6, so 18.
I have 5 health left.
What?
That's math I did.
Oh, there's an 11 missing from here. There was, though. That's all there was to it. Which brings us to the top of the round with melee. One of those Inquisitors seemed to have gotten the jump on Gilroy. It stabs his dagger deep into his back.
And they're all fine.
There's also Erlon and Leander. They're doing their thing.
They're good.
And the Inquisitor, who you wouldn't be surprised if she was readying a rather powerful attack.
Yeah. Gilroy's so low on.
Well, I
Right,
could
I'm going to
use free action,
start
but
on the
she'll go
Inquisitor.
forward.
Okay,
With Sharpshooter.
sounds good.
23.
Yep. A radiant arrow. Very well placed.
Okay, so where am I? 22, 26.
You bring her falling to the ground unconscious.
Okay, then I'm going to turn around and Gilroy, the one that's behind him.
Come to my rescue.
I'm going to use Sharpshooter. Ooh. 10.
Twang! Into the ground right beneath that guy's feet.
I'm going to use Action Surge.
Yeah.
Alright. Now's no time for sitting around.
And, with Sharpshooter.
Okay,
Better. 17.
that's gonna hit.
19, 21.
21.
And that's a full thing, so I get the extra
You get the
attack
extra
still?
attack, because, yeah,
Okay.
you just take a full another turn.
And do the same thing. Ooh, miss.
Swang! Another one. So, a very rapid fire round for melee. You knock the sorcerer out of the air, turn towards Gilroy as this assailant is stabbing at him from behind. Sink an arrow deep and 2 arrows into the ground very close to him, which brings us to Inquisitor Eris, who is bleeding out, which brings us to Leander.
Yes. So I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna turn away from this guy again.
And back!
Yeah, and back to the slowed guy.
Okay.
And just bring another swing down on this guy. 24.
We'll hit.
Level 2. Yeah. His sword basically non-stop glowing and roaring with holy flame as he brings it down on these guys.
Definitely come pretty far.
Do
Do you do an inherent D8 yet? No, that's at some time.
That's like
yeah.
11. That's level 11.
Yeah.
Which is not that far. 16, 22, 24, 31.
Okay. A powerful strike.
And then just once he kind of does the follow through, goes in for a stab at this guy. 16.
16 will hit.
I rolled a 2, but I have plus 14 right now.
Wow.
Alright, level 1.
Dragons. Dragons are what we'll be fighting. Dragons and liches.
6 plus 7 plus 7. 20 damage.
What kind of way you doing this, math?
20 damage.
Common core.
You strike him down, much like the last one. In 2 quick, swift blows, he falls to the ground and bleeds out. Brings us to Erlon. Erlon, that one is wavering before you. He is ready to be taken off this existence.
Yep.
Then you get a whole nother attack.
Yeah.
Let's take a nice dirt nap. Great Weapon Master, Reckless Attack, 19 to hit.
It's gonna hit.
Where's that 20?
I know, I'm waiting for it. Womp womp. That's still rolling a 1 on my d12 with my Great Weapon Mastery. If it hits, is still a 20. It's still 20 damage.
So,
Plus 2 radiant damage, 22 damage.
It adds up, you know.
Yeah.
Not your most precise swing, but the force of this does bring him slamming into the ground, and with a great cloud of dust, you're able to turn around and make some extra attacks against this guy at your back.
Yeah, so bonus attack against him.
Oh no, the dust!
It worked. 18.
That'll hit.
So 12 damage,
12?
and then I get my
You get
other
another,
regular
yeah.
attack. So no.
Okay. Yeah, in a flurry of swings, you bring that first to the ground, whip around and connect with the other assailant at your back, this Inquisitor, who seemed to be ready to stab at you in slow motion, and knock him away with one swing. He gets ready for the next. And actually, a 12, it's -2 to AC, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still, he manages to evade that one. Which brings us to Jar.
Let's see. To save Gilroy or not? To save Gilroy.
Let him die.
Okay, I will. No, Jar will kind of run and up and roll and take a couple melee attacks at the back of that guy.
Okay,
So
that's absolutely flanking.
short sword. That'll be a 25.
Does hit.
Still got the extra radiant.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, Leander's there.
It's 14.
14?
Yep, with a short sword.
Oh, that was on you.
Just stabbed yourself.
Romeo.
Is he still standing?
Yeah, barely.
Alright, so let's try the offhand.
Did a crit. Oh.
Oh, no, not quite.
Why you gotta say stuff like that?
19.
That'll hit.
So I get 2d4 because that's radiant too. So 6.
6?
Yep.
He's so close.
Oh.
So yeah, you slash into him, lunging into him with your dagger, and yet he still remains standing. Gilroy.
I will.
There is an Inquisitor behind Leander, one in front of Erlon. He's slowed. The Inquisitor Eris is bleeding out alongside this shed that you kind of slammed into the ground next to, and you feel one at your back.
Yeah, all about face quickly and cast Firebolt. Well, I guess that's range, so I can't really do that, can I?
No, I don't think you can.
Cast magic missile. Bound to
Burning
hit.
hands.
Burning hand. Jar would get.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
A melee
I can just
suggestion.
shake
Burning
Right.
hands.
He'll figure it out. It'll be good. You know what to help.
Yeah, I guess.
Pretty good decks.
I guess I will magic missile.
Alright, where are you
Stab
sending
him.
these missiles?
Just at the guy behind me.
Poor dude.
I'll do the thing I did in Nold. Where I just raise the charged. I still have that dagger.
Yeah.
I think. Raise the charged dagger, and the things just like fly behind me, and
Yeah.
That's stupid. That is 9 damage.
That's his health.
Nice.
You managed to take him out.
Is that an action to use a?
No, it's bonus
Item.
action.
All right, then I will Scorching Ray at 4th level.
Clear some of these bodies.
Yeah, I'll Scorching Ray 4th level, holding my staff in my other hand as these beams of fire come blasting out, and that is an extra thing per level. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll do 2 to the guy against Leander and 3 against the guy with
Erlon?
Erlon. So
Okay.
12,
15
15,
will hit.
and then the 3, 28, 13. He's at -2.
13 will hit.
Yeah. And 21.
So 1 against,
Yeah.
and then 3.
6.
6 damage.
Yep.
And a lot more for this guy.
Yeah. 11, 13, 14, 19.
19.
Just enough to let you finish them off.
Yeah, those scorching rays go blasting across the battlefield with small little space here and land true, many of them causing these guys, their armor, their dark leather, and their dark capes to smolder and burn.
These look like bait or lasers, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just enough for melee to finish him off.
And this one is gonna disengage, and he turns and looks at you, Gilroy, with wide eyes. This one is slowed, and so he give it a go. Doesn't seem to have much of a choice. What's your AC right now, Erlan?
16.
Give me one hit. So roll your con.
24.
So that's going to be a total of 3, 6, 9 damage. 3, 6, 9.
I've heard that in a tavern before.
Yeah, right? Okay. So, it brings us to the top of the round with melee.
I'm going to go back to the corner of the building. And
Save me.
actually, yeah, the one next
The one
to
that
Gilroy.
looks shocked? Yeah, okay.
So next to Gilroy with sharpshooter.
See it?
17.
That hits.
He's probably dead.
17.
Yeah, he's done. So yeah, his eyes go wide as he meets Gilroy. Probably because he was told about Gilroy, but Gilroy watches as an arrow sinks right into his chest and he falls back, done.
Okay, and then I'll go back to the one that Erlan is fighting. The one that's just giving it its all.
Right? Yeah, he's really trying.
with sharpshooter. 13.
13 will hit.
It's slow, so
Yep.
yeah. Oh, thank you. I forgot that. 21.
You got him. I'm sorry, Erlan. I want to see you get a crit.
I had him!
And he falls to the ground with a thud.
I'm just gonna pull it off the building.
We get it.
On the far side, leaned up against the shack, Inquisitor Eris breathes ragged last breaths, looking towards you, and she coughs out You have gotten stronger. Wow. Well fought, Gilroy. Well
Yeah, Gilroy.
What were your promises? Where's that paper?
See what you're choosing to go against. What you're missing out on, Gilroy. With that. She dies.
Cut her head off.
Sure, yeah, we like.
Yeah.
Well, that was a bit excessive, I think.
I made a promise, Jar.
She was
I had to
already
follow
dead.
through.
Yeah.
Maybe they should send someone stronger next time.
Exactly. Leander gets it.
Read the note.
I'm gonna heal Gilroy up.
Okay, for how much?
45.
45. And yeah, you see the note is not sealed with any particular wax or anything. It seems rather ordinary. Everything's getting slow in roll 20. Good thing we're almost done. Do you unfurl it to read it?
Yes.
So, it essentially says, in rather quick script, it has a description of Clara, what she looks like. Blue skin, wings, all the like, black hair. Her traveling partners, so a quick list of you guys, including now at the very bottom, Jar, half-drow bard, half-orc paladin, plate armor, glowing sword, half-elf, free roamer, orangish beard, a human archer, former Farnwellian militant, and a mage of Nalfarans. It does say blue robes, so you do feel like you've outwitted them there.
I feel like we're rather recognizable.
Yes, they do have pretty much a full description of you guys. And as you continue reading on down, all it essentially says is that that list, return Clara to Lancaster, the reward, access to Mythica, the legendary lost city.
Yes.
You don't know who's making this promise?
Yes.
Or if they
False promises.
Yeah, follow through with it?
But have never followed through with it. You were right. Jar.
Alright.
And I will burn it.
Okay.
But I would see they have eyes and ears in Karet Morn.
Everywhere, no doubt.
They scurry like rats.
And so, I seem incapable of switching the map. But you guys make your way back to Old Town, the night being clear once more. There we go. And comfortable and confident that you are not being followed by the powers of Farrenwell, that Old Town is once again left in its unassuming state and not a means of the enemy to find you. The roads are once again clear. And as you regroup with Jantel, Clara, Zorn, and Bilberry, it looks as though they managed to enjoy a nice evening at the tavern, as you guys had to go out and defeat old enemies. They are drinking away and having a good time. And the night goes by without issue. Is there anything more you guys would like to do in Old Town? The careening cartwheel is just about the only place of note. They do have a blacksmith, but it's just a dwarvish blacksmith, nothing magical to it, so not much more to buy or anything. But
would you have bolts by perchance?
yeah, oh yeah. Anything standard you could get.
So
there.
yeah, Jar will pick up a case of standard bolts.
Okay. 10 gold.
So the idea now is that we'll be able to be going to Ellenbeer without
Yeah, without being,
Inquisitors on our
at least for the time being.
inquisiting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, till we meet the next one.
I want to talk to Leander if I can.
Pull him
Once
aside?
things calm down a little bit
Sure.
and just. I know I got a note from my family. I'm not sure what they mean by take things into their own hands, but I have no intention of returning, and I don't know how it will affect the group. Just a general heads up.
Well, I don't think it'll be anything we can't handle.
Are y'all in the common room still, by the way?
I
How pulled aside are we now? So,
Alright, keep an eye out.
and the sun rises as you guys have spent your night at the careening cartwheel. Limrol addresses you, Jar, in the morning, going, so you're heading down to hoity-toity land with all those high elves, huh?
Indeed. Any shopping you would like for me to do?
No.
To
Not
spend my
for
gold
me.
well enough here, eh?
When I make my trips down there, it's truly out of necessity. But, well, I'll be thinking of you, Jar, and I'll send a message when you get the chance. I'd like to know you're still alive.
Will do.
Turns out, well, Gromit and his other half back there in Waterwheel, we might have an agreement. So, I'm making my way back into Karet Morn for the time being. We'll be in contact, Jar.
All right.
And, that stuff beneath Old Town, against a low whisper, he goes, gives me the heebie-jeebies, but, well, I'm hoping it works out for you.
It will or it won't. Those are my only options. So, until next time, Limrod.
Until next time, old friend.
Stay out of trouble.
Of course. So with that, he gives a wave to the common room as he gets his cart and sets back up the road, separating from the rest of you. You can tell Bilberry, Zorn, Arena, and Clara load onto the Wagon Master XL, and you guys begin to make your way out of Old Town, rolling across the farmland and fields. And you set south once again, passing over those sharper mountains that one row of them, revealing a land of tall granite cliffs, green forests, and amber fields, warm greenish-blue waters, and in the distance, atop a cliff, the oldest city in all of Alaire, Sumedia, home of the High Elves and their well-known temples. And that'll be it for this episode of The Lands of Alaire. Thank you so much for joining us for the season premiere. TJ, you do better with the rest than I do.
Yes, thanks for joining us. If you're watching here on Twitch, as we said, we're trying to hit 250 followers. We're at 212 now. We got a new follower, at least one tonight. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
For that, we'll send you something from our shop at 250. We'll send one follower something from our shop
will be a
at
drawing.
250. Yes, exactly. If you consider, if you'd like to really support the show and our channel, you could consider subscribing. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do it for free. You get one free subscription a month. We'd love that to be us.
Absolutely.
That means so much. Also, you can find us on all sorts of social medias, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Those are in the chat right now. If you're watching on YouTube, consider subscribing. We're on the road to 300 subscribers. We're just a couple away now. It'd be so awesome to hit that sometime shortly. And finally, this is shot live from the Freakopolis Geekery in Whitehall, New York. It is our comic and games shop, open 5 days a week. You can find Ian and I here working the counter, selling comics and DMing, and playing Keyforge most days. So if you're anywhere in the area,
drop on by.
Yeah, swing by and say, hey, I watched your show.
Awesome. Joined by gaming?
Yeah, we are joined by gaming. We promote positivity in the gaming community. We also do fundraising for the Children's Hospital at Albany Medical Center. We have a bunch of cool events on the horizon, so keep an eye on our Facebook page and our website, joinedbygaming.com.
So yeah, definitely check out Joined by Gaming. Awesome events upcoming for a charitable cause, always worth looking into. And finally, a big thank you to our father, who does not get to play the game because he puts in all the time on production and editorial work, and it is what makes the Lands of Alaire as cool of a production as it is. And so many thank yous to our dad. And finally, have a good night. See you next Sunday. And that's it.